Police dispel rumors regarding Emir's Jumat prayers in Kano. The SWAP issues quick notice to communities in Kukawa local government area of Borno State. Death toll from Kano mosque attack hits 21. On the foreign scene, Trump convicted in hush money trial. Hello and welcome to Trust TV's news update. I am Chiamaka Mwafo. Thank you for joining us. The Kano State Police Command has officially debunked circulating information about the Emir Al-Haji Aminu Bayero leading Jumu'at prayers at the Korfakuru Central Mosque. According to a statement released on Friday, the police assured residents that Emir Bayero will instead observe his prayers at the Nasarawa Palace Mosque. The Commissioner of Police, CP Mohammed Hussein Gumel, emphasized that all necessary security arrangements have been made for Al-Haji Aminu Bayero to observe his Jumat prayers in the mosque where he lives at the Nasarawa Palace. He said, adding that the police are also prepared to provide security at the Nasarawa Palace for Emir Muhammad Sanusi II, who is expected to observe his prayers there. In a bid to quell the misinformation, CP Gumel reassured the public, stating members of the public are therefore advised to ignore the false reports and misinformation circulating on social media and to go about their activities without fear of molestation or intimidation. End of quote. He further assured residents that the police and other state security agencies are committed to ensuring a peaceful environment for Friday's congressional prayers. The police public relations officer, SP Abdullahi Kiyawa, reiterated these points, urging the public to remain calm and continue their daily activities without concern for their safety. The statement concluded with a firm commitment of the police to provide the necessary security for the safety and peaceful observance of religious activities in this state. President Bola TINUBU has criticized state governors over what he termed an overbearing influence on the administration of local government councils in the country. According to the president, issues of accountability and ineffectiveness hinder the growth of local council authorities, and state governors must be held accountable. The president made these remarks on Thursday at a meeting with the leadership of the Arewa Consultative Forum, ACF, at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. His criticism comes barely a few days after the federal government sued the 36 state governors over local government autonomy. Taking a swipe at the governors, TINUBU said, during elections, local governments become key to raking in votes, but soon after the polls, the governors concentrate at the center.
I am in charge here today, but you are running a constitutional democracy. I will put to you to summon the governors. Summon them, call them up. I'm doing my best to improve the revenue of the country and giving them their dues. But they must equally be sympathetic to the populace, and they must consider the need of the local people. People reside in the local government. People are in the local community. That is where they reside. That is where they feed. That is where they garden. That is where they cook. That's where they farm. If the local government are not free and the leaders don't hang out to the number, we have 774 local government. It's just a number. Is it effective? Is it reaching the real people?
Nigerians have been called to unite and restore the lost glory of peace gained during and after attaining independence by the heroes and founding fathers. The call was made in Kaduna at a lecture to strengthen unity through diversity for the progress and the development of the nation.
Nigeria is a country with more than 200 ethnic groups. Since the attainment of independence to date, the country has experienced multitude challenges ranging from communal, ethno-religious, and political crises. It is the belief of the leaders in this lecture that harnessing the diversities of Nigeria will no doubt promote unity in the country.
It is when we come together, the spirit of oneness, hospitality, resilience, and innovativeness. As you are aware, Kaduna is the most diverse state in the whole of Nigeria.
Our religion must not be a dividing factor to us, my fellow Nigerians. The fact that I am from the north central wing of the 19 states we share, everybody in this room is my brother and my sister. There should be our power and our strength, and it must be a unifying knot, what holds all of us together. When we recognize and appreciate and accept this fact, then there will be no them or us. We become all one.
In his address, Chief B.C. Akande says Nigeria has come a long way as a nation and therefore must begin to enjoy the dividend of independent nation.
Towards the last election, the prophecy was thick that TINUBU will not become the APC candidate. He did become. Religious clerics of one belief and the other became sleepless for him not to win the presidential election. One Nigeria is a major part of what we are now celebrating today. I am therefore particularly convinced that Nigeria will forever continue to be sustained as a more peaceful, more developed, more progressive, and more prosperous country.
The representative of the Chief of Defense Staff, Brigadier General Akin Ojo, emphasized the commitment of the service chiefs to maintain a one united Nigeria.
Approach to even the tactics, techniques, and procedures for fighting counterinsurgency warfare, fighting insecurity have been totally overhauled. So we see more collaboration with other paramilitary agencies. We see more cooperation even with ministries, departments, and agencies in what we call integrated operations. And that's because the right people have been put in place.
The lecture is aimed at promoting unity among the diverse groups in Nigeria, especially in the north, where many ethno-religious and political crises were recorded in the past. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
Barely 4 days after killing 15 fishermen in the Tumbunrogo community, the Islamic State of West Africa province, ISWAP terrorists have given residents of Kukawa local government area notice to quit their communities or face death from the terror group. A resident who fled his community to Maiduguri 3 hours after receiving the threat revealed this to the media. While reliving his experience, the resident, who begged anonymity, explained that the terrorists had guarded residents of various communities in the local government area in the early hours of Thursday and told them to vacate their homes before Saturday, or else they will be killed. According to him, immediately after they received the threat from the terrorists, communities started vacating, some to Kukawa, while others left for Mongono. Kukawa local government area is a local government at Lake Chad that is popular for fishing, farming, and other agricultural value chain activities. The death toll in the May 15 bombing of a mosque at Garden Village, Gizawa local government area of Kano State, has risen to 21. Reports said 4 more victims of the incident died, raising the figure to 21 from the 17 reported last week, Tuesday. A total of 25 early morning worshippers were injured in the mosque bombing attack. While 1 person died on the date of the incident, 20 have died at the Muhammad Specialist Hospital, Kano, where they had been receiving treatment, leaving only 4 surviving. The chairman of Friends of the Hospital, Alhaji Baturi Abdulaziz, revealed the latest development on Thursday when he led some members of the Kano business community on a sympathy visit to the 4 remaining victims of the attack at the hospital. Shafir Abubakar had attacked the mosque with a locally fabricated bomb. The leadership of Ohanaeze Ndigbo and the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, have denounced the killing of security personnel by unknown armed men in the southeast. President General of the Ohanaeze Ndigbo Worldwide, Chief Emmanuel Iwanyanwu, after a meeting with Nnamdi Kanu, who is in the custody of the Department of State Services DSS on Thursday, stated that Kanu was not behind the order for the sit-at-home. Here's the report.
Iwanyanwu said the senseless killing of security operatives by a gang of criminals does not enjoy the support of all right-thinking Igbos, the leadership of Ohanaeze, as well as Nnamdi Kanu. He appealed to President Ahmed TINUBU to find a political solution to Nnamdi Kanu's detention because it was no longer a judicial matter but a political one.
I'm sad, very sad that in Igbo lands, where I am now presiding as a leader, that some people can come and kill I heard 2 soldiers have been killed somewhere. These are people who are carrying the banner of Nigeria. These are people who have brought out their life for us. And it is very sad. We regard it as a criminal matter.
Iwanyanwu went down memory lane to recall that there have been several agitations for self-determination since independence, from Isaac Boro in the Niger Delta to Northerners calling for secession. The Ohanaeze leader explained that several youths from the southwest, south-south and other areas have also been agitating for self-determination, but none of them was behind bars for expressing themselves.
Let's go back into history and you see, we have been talking about the structuring of this country. And I want to take this opportunity again to call TINUBU to take a serious look, an immediate look into the structuring of this country. Until this country is structured to enable people to develop within their capacity, within their potentials, so that people should in fact be able to harvest and exploit God-given potentials in their places.
The Ohanaeze leader had led a delegation which included the Secretary General, the Eze Ndigbo of Abuja, and the former chairman of the Police Service Commission, among others, to meet with Kanu at the DSS headquarters, where he is currently being detained.
Meanwhile, the military high command has vowed to clamp down on terrorists of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, who masterminded killing of soldiers in the southeast zone of the country while enforcing sit-at-home. Reports said that vehicles and keke napep were also set ablaze by rampaging terrorists while their reign of terror lasted. The development, Southeast governors and other stakeholders condemned. Speaking on Friday, the Director of Defense Media Operations, Edward Buba, said the military would retaliate the dastardly act against its troops and bring overwhelming pressure against the terrorists terrorizing the zone. The director explained that the lifeline of the terrorists are people in some areas, insisting that winning the war without the support of the people is close to impossible. According to him, the IPOB terrorists capitalized on non-support of the people for the military to perpetrate attacks on the troops, adding that the situation leaves more to be desired. Reactions have continued to trail the signing into law of the bill that has now discarded the Arise O Compatriots version for the Nigeria We Hail Thee version of the national anthem, barely 48 hours after it came into force. the reintroduction of the old, now new national anthem, written by a British woman, Lillian Jane Williams, sparked mixed feelings among Nigerians. While some have rejected it, others are learning to sing it since it has become an act of the National Assembly, which is binding on all. Ibrahim Ismail tells us more.
Nigeria, we hail thee.
Adopted on 1st October 1960 to celebrate Nigeria's independence, the Nigerian national anthem, Nigeria, we hail thee, was written in 1959 by Lillian Jane Williams, a Briton who lived in Nigeria. The lyrics were composed by another foreigner, Francis Beda, while many Nigerians submitted their entries when authorities were working to facilitate a national anthem ahead of independence. However, the national anthem was dropped in 1978 during the military regime of President Olusegun Obasanjo. The same year, John Ilechukwu Eme Etim Akpan, Babatunde A. Ogunaike, Osota Omoigu, and Pio Aderik Bigbe wrote the lyrics of the second anthem, Arise, O Compatriots, composed by the Nigeria Police Band. With the return to the earlier jettisoned anthem, Nigerians have been speaking on the issue.
He's trying to recall his own opinion, but Nigeria in general, they will not be interested. Because one, this national anthem, some of us sing it far back in our primary 1, primary 2, then 80s, and it stopped. Then Arise will come. Then now the God of Creation came, which is the recent one now. The children, how many of them will know? Even some of the teachers in school, do they know it? Is he saying that is he going to rebuild all the structures of former Nigeria? Well, I wish Nigeria well. That's my opinion.
The present one we are doing now, that one is telling us that the country should go on corruptions. Let the politics, let the tribunal and other people do the right thing. Are you getting me? So let us go by that new one. Okay. Preferably. Okay. Nigeria, we hate
While senior citizens who are above 50 years sang the old new national anthem during their primary school days, young Nigerians are struggling to be conversant with the anthem. Thus, many argued that the reintroduction of the old national anthem was a misplacement of priority by the TINUBU administration.
I think the federal government needs to tackle the economy issue first. That is our pressing need at the moment, not about national anthem. Someone like me now, you want me to start cramming this national anthem or what? This is not what I need. Understand? You need to make, we need good governance. We need a good living condition, you understand?
The way they implement it immediately, and Nigeria approve it, but they cannot do it for minimum wage. No national anthem is just like it's bringing us back. It's taking us back. We don't need it. We need a future. We need the good things.
Amidst rejections of the old new national anthem by some Nigerians, schools in some parts of the country are already teaching pupils and students the anthem. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Still staying with the old new national anthem, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Tinubu, Wednesday, on the occasion of his 1 year in office, accented a bill reverting to the old national anthem. These developments elicited reactions from Nigerians in Makurdi. Asimi Azande tells us more.
Some Nigerians were stunned with reverting to the old national anthem, which many, especially among the young generations, are not conversant with. Benue residents are wondering what prompted the National Assembly to pass a bill reverting to the anthem.
Have loads of problems to handle, not national anthem. They should fix Nigeria and stop talking about national anthem. The national anthem we have at hand is the best Nigeria will ever have. Changing it is the wrongest thing to do. So it should just be, please.
Changing from national anthem to another national anthem does not have any impact to our social life. The president should go straight and address the issue of social life of Nigerians, not changing from national anthem to another national anthem.
Others say the national anthem is not one of the problems Nigerians are facing at the moment.
Will that solve the fuel crisis that we're having in the country? Will the hike in fuel prices and cost of food items? Is the change going to also, let me say, stop the insecurity that we're experiencing currently in the country? This is one of the least things that we should be even talking about now. Nigerians are suffering.
Find out somebody embezzling 19 pounds, 300 and something trillion. I think our major problem in this country is corruption. We don't need changing of the national anthem.
First time I heard of the intention of the National Assembly to revert to the old anthem, I thought it was a joke until I heard that it was passed and the president eventually signed it. So I feel that is not our problem. Reverting to the old anthem is not our problem.
Either way, Nigeria We Hate Thee has become the official anthem of Nigeria. Recitation of the national anthem is a mark of patriotism and loyalty expected of every citizen as an obligation. Jimmy Azandi, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
And on the foreign, the New York jury has convicted former American President Donald Trump on all charges in his hush money case on Thursday, an seismic development barely 5 months ahead of the election where he seeks to recapture the White House. The first criminal trial of a former U.S. president ended with the 77-year-old Trump found guilty on each of the 34 counts of falsifying business records to hide the payment meant to silence porn star Stormy Daniels. Trump, who was released without bail and is all but certain to appeal initially, sat still on the drag Manhattan courtroom, shoulders deep in. Addressing reporters outside minutes later, he branded the result a disgrace and rigged, vowing that the real verdict will come from voters in the November 5th presidential election. The conviction thrusts the United States into uncharted political territory.
This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people.
And in sports, new promoted English Premier League side Southampton has concluded plans to sell the Super Eagles forward Paul Onuachu. Reports suggest that the lanky Nigerian attack is ready to request a move. The Saints will look to contact clubs in the Super League as well as hint at a potential domestic deal for Onuachu, which could allow a competitive rival to take a chance on the Nigerian. The forward has 2 years remaining on his deal, so Russell Martin's side is in the driver's seat in terms of negotiation leniency. Having only made 12 appearances and not finding the back of the net, the ex-Midtjylland star isn't in Martin's long or short-term plans. Southern Sports General Manager Issa Lawal Salawal of the Nigerian Rugby League has announced June 24th as the kick-off date for the 2024 season. The Southern Conference is set to kick off with over 5 teams participating. Each of these teams will field squads in the men's, women's and under-19 categories, underscoring a commitment to inclusive growth and development across all levels of the sport. Furthermore, the simultaneous participation of men, women and under-19 teams is a monumental boost for developing rugby league throughout Nigeria. That's it for news update on Trust TV at this hour. For more of our news, programs and documentaries, please do also follow us on all our social media platforms and our YouTube live stream. I am Chiamaka Mwafo. Thank you for joining us.